there, and welcome to the third episode of Birkenwasser Knits. In this episode I'm going to talk about my latest design, Osculation Shawl, that I designed for Twist Collective, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about the path towards that design, and then I'm gonna show you what I've been working on lately. But let's start with the Osculation Shawl. Here's my second sample of the shawl. The first one, of course, went to Twist Collective, so it was published in Twist Collective's July 2018 issue, and I knitted that sample in Lana Grosse's Eco Puno yarn, so that was a lovely summer yarn. But then I noticed that, hey, if I want to talk about the pattern in this podcast, then I should have a sample to show and not just the pictures. And obviously the first one went to Twist Collective, so that's why I started to knit another one for myself. And I used some leftovers from a previous project. So this is actually leftovers from this exploration station that I knitted a couple of years back, but actually you need like half a skein of each color for the exploration shawl, so I had half a skein of each color for the exploration shawl, so I had half a skein of each left, and then I just added a main color for the project and used 3 of the remaining skeins from my exploration station project. So, but this Osculation Shawl, it's made of 3 sections. So you start with, let's see how it's also pretty big, so it takes a bit of effort to show. But it starts here, it's the first section, so you start from that tiny bit at the bottom, and you work this kite-shaped section by just simply increasing in the middle and decreasing on both edges, and you come, you make like a kite. And when you've made it big enough, it's time for the second section, and then you leave half of the stitches on hold and continue with half of them, and the next section will be this asymmetric triangle. So this one has, the decreases continue on the side, and then you just increase in the middle, so it continues the same shape as the first one. And in the end, so you just basically you continue until you're out of stitches, and then you work back and pick up stitches along the edge for your third section. That has a huge number of stitches, but with a circular needle that should go just fine. So then you just work the last section and you're done. And it's a pretty nice shawl to wear also. You can just wrap it around your neck and you can just see all 3 sections. They show nicely. So it's a nice project. But I have to say that right now we're having a heat wave here in Helsinki, and this is Tosh Merino Light. So all this wool around my neck, I don't think I can wear this right now. But I've been wearing that exploration station a lot, so I think this one is also getting a lot of use once I don't need it as a sample anymore. The name Osculation, it's always difficult to think of names for your design, and I always struggle with when I'm trying to find a name for a design. But I also try to write down interesting words that I think could work as names. And the word osculation is something that I happened to come across a list of English words that you didn't know exist, or something like that. I forgot what was the title or whose list it was. But one of the words on that list was osculation, and the explanation was that it's the act of kissing. And I thought that, wow, that's nice to have a word for that. So that could work as a shawl name. But then when I looked it up in a dictionary, I also learned that it's actually a mathematical term. And it means the point where two surfaces meet, or actually I think the definition is the point where the tangents of two curves are parallel. Yeah, I don't remember the exact definition, but anyways, so it means where two surfaces meet. And of course here I thought it would be a perfect name for this shawl because you have all these three surfaces meeting, so that's why I decided to call it osculation. But if you'd like to hear a little bit about how I came up with this design, this is actually a simplified version of a previous design. I designed this Liinu Shawl, and it has exactly the same shape, same idea. This one is knitted in Kässäkerho Pompom's merino singles, and I even named it after Liinu of Kässäkerho Pompom. She's the lady behind these gorgeous yarns. And this one has the same shape. So you start with the kite shape thing, but this one has also little eyelets. And same for the second section, there are eyelet stripes. But then the major difference is in the third section, so this one has a lovely, nice lace border. But I figured that if lace is not your thing, you could just simplify the design and just make stripes. So this is what this Osculation Shawl is about. Just stripes all the way. Yeah, but how did I come up with this shape and design for the Liinu Shawl? Well, it's a continuance from the previous design that I made. This one is called Flying Jib, and it has in a way the same type of beginning. So this is maybe a shape that you are well familiar with. This shape has been used a lot by different designers, and I just wanted to have my own take on that shape. So you start from this end, and this one has increases on the sides and decreases in the middle. So it's like the opposite of the Osculation and Liinu Shawls. And you continue until that tip, yeah, here. And then you just basically stop increasing on the other edge and continue on the other, and that fills it up. And it's a really nice construction. And I used this when I bought a 5-skein mini set. You can see the gradient set. This was Easy Knits yarn from the UK. I bought it at Edinburgh Yarn Festival, and I wanted to figure out a way to use that mini skein set, and that's how I came up with this Flying Jib Shawl. I'm calling it Flying Jib because the shape, it just reminds me of the Flying Jib's sail on a sailing yacht. So that's my memories from my sailing years. I don't know, maybe I'll sail again someday, but right now my parents just sold their yacht, so I don't have that opportunity. So now I guess if I wanted to sail more, I'd have to buy my own yacht, and well, let's see if that ever happens. But anyway, I have the sail shaped shawl as a memory from my sailing years. Okay, so there you can see how my designs often they evolve. I start thinking of a solution for a problem, or like in this case, just I wanted to use a 5 mini skein set and think of a design for that. And then I started thinking that what if you do it the same way except that you change the parts where you increase and decrease, and that kind of led me to the Liinu Shawl design. And then I thought, hey, let's just simplify that and we can have another design with the same nice construction, but that's an easier starting point maybe, or if you're not a fan of lace, then you can just go with the stripes. Okay, but it's hot. It's really hot, and that's not keeping me from knitting. So I have a couple of projects on my needles, and let's see what to start with. Let's start with or continue with the shawls. I showed you this one in the previous episode, so it's my Liinu shawl. I have half done, so here's half of the shawl. I reached the middle point, and so I'm continuing with the second half. So now I'm just gonna have to knit a second one like that, and then you join them once you get to the middle point. So that's where I'm at with this Liinu shawl. And yeah, I'm gonna have to make a testing call for this one. So the pattern was published in Taito magazine, so it has been tested, but that was for the smaller size. So I'm going to add a larger size. This one will use 3 skeins of, this is Lanitium ex Machinas alpaca linen silk yarn, so you would need 3 for the larger version of the shawl, whereas the smaller one you can make with 2 skeins. So you will hear more about this soon. And then, yeah, there's the sock knitting competition. Tour de Sock is going on, and yeah, I believe I showed that. That was also what I was knitting in the previous episode, but now I have, I finished those socks just in time, I think like half an hour, 30 minutes before the deadline, but I did finish them on time, so I have 1 point from the first stage. And the second stage started on Wednesday, and now it's Sunday, so I'm not really making great progress with the socks. But I have 2 socks on the needles. I'm using this gorgeous purple yarn that I bought from, I think this was the Jyväskylä Knit Festival, Winter Festival. And I bought it there from Rouva Silmusolmu. It's her hand-dyed gorgeous purple. And I think the smallest size, I decided to go with the smallest size because I think that my daughter would love this color. And well, she's 7, but I think these look like the women's small, looks like it could fit her. I can't try it on because she is spending, she has been spending the week at the countryside with her grandparents. So I will only get to try these on when she comes home tomorrow. So I don't know if I should just wait to make sure that they fit her or just keep going. Let's see. But it's the pattern is called, I think it was Audition, by a Swedish designer, Susan Sjögren, I think. I'll put the name on the video so you can see that. I'm sorry, Susan, if I remembered your name incorrectly or if I pronounced it wrong, but that's, yeah, I probably pronounce half of what I say wrong, but let's not get into that. Yeah, so I have these socks on the needles, and yeah. I also have another sock project, and this is something new. This is my own sock design, and this is actually the first time I have designed socks. So I'm fixing to publish this pattern next week. So the next episode I will talk more about this star toe sock pattern. It has a star on the toe, and yeah, you can see more of that in the next episode. So please hit the subscribe button and you won't miss the next episode of Birken Wassenets. Thank you for watching.